Once there was a king who never had any fun. All the king did, day after day, year in and year out, was complain to himself and to his court that he never had any fun. He was mean and bad-tempered to everybody and to everything. His court had no fun listening to him complain. In fact, no one seemed to have any fun. The castle was a very gloomy and unfun place to be, and the king was getting pretty tired of it. Then, one day, he had an idea. He ordered an attendant to go out and get the Prime Minister, which the attendant promptly did. The Prime Minister came before the king and said, "What can I do for your Majesty?"
"You can tell me why it is I never have any fun."
"Sire, you never have any fun because you don't know what fun is." "Very well, Welfus. Suppose you tell me what fun is, then perhaps I'll have some." "Well, sire, I'm not entirely sure I can answer that question." "Why not?" "It's like this, Your Grace. Fun, fun is whatever is fun."
This succeeded only in making the king more angry than ever.
"Get out, Welfus! And on your way out, send the court mystic in."
The court mystic oozed slowly into the throne room, wriggling his fingers and blinking his eyes and looking slyly about. At last he stood before the throne, awaiting the king's wish.
"I wish you would stop oozing around is what I wish. What I also wish is that you would tell me exactly what fun is." "Ah, yes, Your Majesty, this I can tell you. Fun is to have merry amusement in the course of joking with frolicsome playfulness. Fun can be fun, but what to one is fun, to another is not. Maybe."
Well, at this point, the king had taken all the double talk he could stand.
"Leave!"
he said.
"Get out!"
"It is my happiness to get out for your gracious Majesty, and may all your stars and planets smile upon your search for that which is fun."
It was becoming obvious to the king that if he was going to find out what fun was, he would have to go out himself and see if anything he did was fun. First, the king had himself locked in a barrel.
"This is not fun."
Next, the barrel was dumped into the river.
"Nor is this fun."
After the king was rescued and hauled ashore, he put on a dry king suit, a fresh crown, and set out upon his next deed. He was tied to the right front leg of the royal elephant. The royal cannon was fired. The loud royal bang so scared the royal elephant that he ran madly off into the royal woods, trumpeting all the way. Needless to say, the king failed to see any fun in that. Somewhere, something must be fun, he thought. On an impulse, he ran to the window of his throne room and jumped out. Was that fun, Your Majesty? No, Welfus, it was not fun. So it came about that a proclamation was posted in the kingdom that offered wealth and the king's daughter to anyone who could show the king something fun. It was the usual offer in situations of this kind. It was a good offer, but not entirely true. The king had wealth, to be sure, but he did not have a daughter. What he did have was the royal pet snail with which he was willing to part. The people were not at all fussy. They figured that with wealth, they could tolerate the royal snail. So, one after another, they tried to claim the prize. And one after another, they failed.
Is there nothing in this confounded kingdom that I can call fun?
Yes, Your Majesty, there is.
A hush came over the room.
Who said that?
I did, Your Majesty.
There before the king stood a little old man with a long beard.
Well,
Said the king.
what can I call fun?
Lean down, Your Majesty, and I'll whisper it in your ear. No one but yourself must know what I say.
So the king leaned, and the little old man whispered.
You're right. By George, he's right! He's right!
The next day, before the whole of the kingdom assembled, the little old man received his wealth and the royal pet snail. The crowd cheered. The little old man lived happily ever after, and the palace returned to normal at last. Which, dear friends, is where we came in. Day after day, year in and year out, all the king did was complain to himself. Never had any. He was mean and bad-tempered to everyone and everything. He never had any fun at all, he would yell. That, of course, was not quite true. For as the little old man had so wisely pointed out, the king did indeed have fun, but only when he was complaining about not having any, and making everyone around him miserable into the bargain. But don't judge him too harshly, my friends, for a king has to have some fun.